moving on to other news that we're tracking today. Asset management firm Aniket Capital has received 30 crore rupees plus of investment commitments from HDFC AMC's Fund of Fund with possible additional allocation in the near future. This investment will be deployed through Aniket's equity fund, which is Grand Aniket Fund 3, that was launched in June 2022 and has raised 320 crores for the fund so far. Joining us now to talk about the fund's plan and investment strategy is Dhruv Kapoor, the partner at Aniket Capital. And also with me is my colleague Arundhati. Dhruv, welcome to CNBC TV 18. Thanks very much for your time here. You've just received this 30 crore plus commitment from HDFC AMC. And now you've raised 320 crores in total so far. How much more, firstly, could HDFC AMC invest? And by when will you achieve that final close of 500 crores that you're targeting?
Ritu, thank you. Arundhati, thank you for having me on the show. I think HDFC's commitment to the Aniket Equity Fund is a great testament to the portfolio and the strategy that we are building. This is an early investment commitment that we've got from them. Our belief is that as the fund nears completion by the early quarter of next year, this number could look significantly higher. Getting a marquee institutional investor like HDFC as somebody who is anchoring our fund in the likes of SIDBI and SRI is a big testament to what we're building, the franchise and the foundation we are putting in place.
All right, Dhruv, now the equity fund has already invested in 6 companies like Blue Tokai, Earth Rhythm, Neiman's XYXX, etc. So what's your investment strategy here? What is the selection criteria?
So we look at, we're centered around consumer and consumer tech so far. Like you rightly said, we've invested in 6 companies. We've got about 5 consumer brands there, including Ayurveda Experience, Blue Tokai, XYXX. So consumer D2C brands is a big sector focus for us. Having said that, we are also looking at other tech areas. For example, we have invested in a supply chain company for fruits and vegetables called Velocity. So logistics is a big theme for us. We are close to investing in a services business that focuses on the sustainable sector overseas. So our investment philosophy is to look at businesses that have strong foundation, strong unit economics, are on a path to profitability, and are using tech and tech enablement as a way of scaling these businesses both in India and globally. Our belief is that we will do about 6 to 7 more investments from this fund.
Okay, you'll do 6 to 7 more investments in the pipeline. But, Dhruv, what about exits? What's lined up in the near term? You've made some good bets. What kind of returns are you expecting in this market, and any companies going public there?
So, Ritu, this fund is 1 year old. Our vintage is very, very early. We've made these 6 investments over the last 12 months. The fund has a life of 8 years, so exit is still some time away. Our belief is that over the next 4 to 5 years, we will start to nurture these companies and start driving exits. But that window is still some time away. Some of our companies are built for an IPO kind of environment, but some of them will also explore the M&A opportunity. But like I said, I think markets will determine what exitability happens at that point in time. But the fund is fairly early in its evolution to look at an exit at this point in time. A lot of the investments actually happened in the early part of this year. So we're still in the investment phase.
So you're still in the investment phase, not looking at exits anytime soon. But as an investor, are you seeing the funding environment show definitive signs of improvement yet? How are investors and founders prioritizing these changing and adapting to these changing times? What are the kind of trends you're seeing playing out both in equity as well as debt?
So look, we under the Aniket umbrella also have an angel platform, and we typically do about 12 to 15 investments a year from that fund, and we've done that same run rate over the last 3 to 4 years. Even this year, as of August, we've invested in 10 odd companies. From the equity fund, which is a really vintage of last year, we've invested in 6 companies, and we should close our 7th investment by the next month. So from the early stage, we are not seeing a very big slowdown. We continue on the momentum. I think the big choke point in the industry is the late stage, and that has had a little bit trickle down effect on the mid stage. Our belief is that some of these companies some of that market, some of that environment is opening up, but it may be still 6 to 12 months away before we get back to momentum at the late and the mid stage. I think early stage, continues to be robust for us and for the market as well.
And Dhruv, to clarify, we were asking about exits overall, not from this fund, of course, which has just been launched. But, before we let you go, there have been some big bets you've made with Bira, Wow Momos, Lending Card. There have been good returns, and consumer is a space that you're very bullish on. But, where is the next big opportunity for Anikit? What are you eyeing? I mean, a lot of investors are looking at AI and SaaS, for instance. What about you?
So, like I said, we have 3 different asset areas where we invest in. From the angel ecosystem, we have made a lot of bets in the space tech space. We have at least 3 investments there, and the 4th one is coming along. We are looking at Gen AI in the biotech and R&D space. We've made a bet there. We continue to double down on, consumer, financial services, healthcare, etc. from there. A lot of these companies then become a funnel for the equity fund to look at. So as these companies mature and get to Series A and Series B stage, we will start looking at it from the equity fund as well.
All right.
And then the debt fund comes in a significantly later
Sure.
stage where companies are near EBITDA or EBITDA profitable. So those are more mature companies that are in the 1,000 crore odd revenue range and are profitable. So Anikit operates across the spectrum.
Sure, Dhruv.
And that's where we are operating on.
Okay.
I think from the early to equity stage, exits are some time away, but from the debt side, we're looking at some companies that may potentially exit very soon.
Dhruv, that's all the time we have. So thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
On that note, it is time for